Welcome to World Information HD, your source for unbelievable truths hiding in plain sight. You'll never look at pocket change the same way again. Today, we're diving into the fascinating, and sometimes shocking, world of rare Lincoln wheat pennies. These are simple 1-cent coins minted between 1909 and 1958, but a handful of them, thanks to weird minting mistakes, odd mint marks, and extreme rarity, have sold in auctions for hundreds of thousands, even millions, of dollars. If you've ever rummaged through old jars of pennies, listen closely. You might be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. Stay tuned as we count down the top 5 rarest, most valuable wheat pennies ever discovered. Today, we're diving into the world of rare coins, focusing on a classic American gem that has captured the hearts of collectors and numismatists for decades. That coin is none other than the 1941 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny. If you thought pennies were just small change, think again. Some of these coins can be worth a fortune, and this particular 1941 edition is a shining example of numismatic value meeting history. The Lincoln wheat penny is one of the most iconic coins in United States history. First minted in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it was designed by Victor David Brenner. Unlike other coins of its time, the Lincoln penny broke tradition by featuring a real person, an American president, on its obverse, or front side. Its reverse side features 2 stalks of wheat, which gave rise to its affectionate nickname, the wheat penny. These coins were produced continuously from 1909 through 1958, meaning there are thousands of varieties, mint marks, and dates, each with its own story and potential value. Now, let's focus on the star of today's video, the 1941 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark. But what makes this coin so special? First, let's clarify what no mint mark actually means. The United States Mint produced coins in several locations, and each mint used a letter to indicate where the coin was struck. The Philadelphia Mint, the country's oldest and largest mint, did not place a mint mark on pennies during this period. Therefore, a 1941 penny with no mint mark was minted in Philadelphia, making it a representative of the standard production. But the rarity and value don't come just from the mint mark, they come from condition, scarcity, and collector demand. 1941 was a unique year in American history. The United States was on the brink of entering World War II, and the nation was still feeling the lingering effects of the Great Depression. Coins produced during this period often experienced heavy circulation. That means most pennies from 1941 show significant wear, scratches, and dirt, making well-preserved specimens much more desirable. A coin in near-perfect condition, often referred to as mint state, by collectors, can fetch hundreds, even thousands of dollars depending on its quality. Collectors often examine these coins under magnification, looking for tiny details that can significantly increase value. These include the sharpness of Abraham Lincoln's profile, the clarity of the wheat stalks on the reverse, and the presence, or absence, of any flaws. Interestingly, coins can also have rare die errors, such as doubled dies, repunched mint marks, or small anomalies in the coin's surface. While a standard 1941 no-mint mark penny is already collectible, these unique variations can make the coin far more valuable. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is the hunt. Imagine rummaging through rolls of change, perhaps in an old drawer, a jar, or even at your local bank, and discovering a penny that has been quietly waiting for decades. Many collectors began by searching through everyday coins, only to stumble upon a 1941 penny in remarkably good condition. The thrill of spotting such a rare coin is what drives hobbyists to spend hours examining pocket change. Now, let's talk about grading. Coin grading is the process used to determine a coin's condition, which directly affects its value. A coin is graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect, flawless condition. A 1941 no-mint mark penny in average circulated condition might be valued at a few dollars. But a coin that has maintained its luster, original color, and fine details can be considered uncirculated and graded MS60 to MS65, or even higher. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. It's important to note that the 1941 Lincoln penny is widely collected, meaning there is a large collector base that actively seeks out these coins. Demand can drive up prices, especially for coins in exceptional condition. While a circulated penny from 1941 might not seem extraordinary, a pristine specimen can easily become the centerpiece of a coin collection. Many collectors also pursue these coins as part of a date set, which involves collecting one coin from each year of a particular series. For someone completing a Lincoln wheat penny set, finding a 1941 no-mint mark penny in top condition is a critical step point. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1941 Lincoln penny is its composition. Like all wheat pennies from 1909 through 1942, this coin was made primarily of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. The combination gives the coin its characteristic reddish-brown color, which deepens with age. The copper content also means that, over time, the coin develops a natural patina, a sign of authenticity and age. Collectors often prize this natural aging process, as it enhances the coin's visual appeal. Cleaning or polishing these coins is strongly discouraged, as it can dramatically reduce their value. The market prefers coins in their original, untouched condition, even if they show minor wear or toning. Another interesting historical tidbit about the 1941 penny is its production numbers. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 320 million pennies that year. While that number seems astronomical, few coins survive today in pristine condition. The combination of high production and low survival in mint state makes the 1941 no-mint mark penny both accessible and challenging for serious collectors. It's rare enough to be sought after, but common enough that a dedicated hunter might actually find one if they know what to look for. For collectors and investors, the 1941 Lincoln penny represents more than just a piece of metal. It's a tangible connection to a pivotal moment in American history, bridging the past with the present. Holding a coin from 1941 allows you to touch a moment when the world was on the brink of monumental change, before the United States entered World War II. Each scratch, dent, or faded area on the coin tells a story, reminding us that even something as small as a penny can carry historical weight. So, what is a 1941 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny really worth today? As with all collectibles, value depends heavily on condition, rarity, and collector demand. A worn coin might sell for just a few dollars, while a coin in near-perfect condition, graded professionally by experts, can fetch an impressive sum. Collectors who invest in coins not only preserve a piece of history, but they also have the opportunity to see their investment grow over time, as the scarcity of well-preserved coins increases. The fascination with coins like the 1941 Lincoln wheat penny lies not only in their monetary value but also in their story. Imagine passing along a coin that was minted over 80 years ago. It could have been in someone's pocket during the early days of World War II, exchanged in stores, or saved as a small token of the times. Each coin carries a unique journey, giving it a personality that no other collectible can quite replicate. For new collectors, starting with a 1941 no-mint mark penny is an excellent choice. It's relatively affordable to begin collecting, yet it offers the potential for high value if a particularly well-preserved specimen is found. Moreover, learning to identify differences in condition, spotting errors, and understanding grading standards provides a solid foundation for a lifetime of coin collecting. Veteran collectors appreciate the historical significance and the challenge of acquiring coins in the best possible condition. In conclusion, the 1941 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny is a remarkable coin that continues to captivate collectors and investors alike. Its historical significance, classic design, and potential value make it a must-have for anyone serious about coin collecting. Whether you are just starting your collection or adding to an existing set, the thrill of finding a 1941 penny in excellent condition is unmatched. Remember, patience, knowledge, and careful examination are key to discovering these treasures. If you ever come across a 1941 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny in top condition, you're holding a piece of American history in your hand. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American numismatics, a coin that has captured the attention of collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts alike, the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark. At first glance, it might look like an ordinary coin, small, copper, and well-worn, but its story, rarity, and value are anything but ordinary. If you've ever wondered how a simple penny could be worth a fortune, stick around because by the end, you'll understand why this humble coin has reached a staggering price of $54,388. The Lincoln Wheat Penny, also known as the Lincoln Cent, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse of the coin features a portrait of Lincoln, which has remained largely unchanged for over a century. On the reverse, the coin originally displayed two stalks of wheat framing the words, 1 cent, and United States of America. These coins were simple, practical, and circulated widely, but they also carried hidden stories in their tiny designs, variations, and minting peculiarities that have fascinated collectors for generations. The 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted during a tumultuous time in American history. The country was in the middle of World War II, and coins became more than just money. They were part of a national story of resilience and endurance. That year, the U.S. Mint produced pennies in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins minted in Philadelphia carried no mint mark, coins from Denver bore a D, and San Francisco coins featured an S. The coin we're focusing on today is the Philadelphia issue with no mint mark, which might seem common at first glance, but there's more to it than meets the eye. What makes the 1942 no mint mark penny so interesting to collectors isn't just its age, it's the subtle details and the stories those details tell. Coins minted during this period often show variations due to changes in metal composition, die wear, and minting errors. Some coins feature doubled dies, slight off-center strikes, or even faint imperfections that can dramatically increase their value. Collectors love hunting for these variations because they are like tiny windows into the machinery and history of the mint. Each imperfection makes the coin unique, giving it character and, most importantly, market value. The 1942 penny was struck in a blend of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a composition that remained standard until wartime necessities forced a temporary switch to steel in 1943. That switch makes the 1942 coin part of the last generation of pre-war copper pennies, and many collectors seek these coins as a way to preserve a piece of history before the steel pennies of the following year took over circulation. Over time, the copper in these coins develops a distinct patina, often dark brown or reddish, which can add to the coin's charm. While some collectors prefer coins that are clean and shiny, many experts argue that coins with original circulation wear, coins that show the fingerprints of history, can be even more valuable, as they tell the story of daily life in America during the 1940s. Condition is critical when it comes to valuing any coin, and the 1942 no mint mark penny is no exception. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, with nuances in between. A coin in mint condition, showing crisp details and minimal wear, can fetch thousands of dollars, while one that has been heavily circulated may only be worth a modest amount. Even so, collectors sometimes prize the well-worn coins if they carry rare errors or unique characteristics, which can turn what looks like an ordinary penny into a collector's treasure. Speaking of rarity, one of the reasons the 1942 no mint mark penny commands such attention is the sheer number of variations produced. Within this single year, the U.S. Mint released hundreds of millions of pennies, but not all of them were identical. Slight differences in die alignment, metal composition, or striking pressure mean that even two pennies minted in the same batch can have different characteristics. For collectors, identifying these small differences can feel like solving a puzzle, and finding a coin with a rare trait can be an exhilarating experience. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that survived decades of circulation, pocket change, and history, and realizing it carries a quirk that only a handful of coins in the world share. That excitement is part of what drives the market for rare Lincoln Wheat pennies today. Another fascinating aspect of the 1942 no mint mark penny is its historical significance. Coins are more than just currency, they are artifacts of the time they were made. The early 1940s were a period of global upheaval, with the United States fully engaged in World War II. Everyday items like coins reflect the economic realities of the time. Copper, the primary metal in these pennies, was a critical resource for the war effort, making each coin not only a medium of exchange but also a symbol of the nation's industrial and military strength. Collectors and historians alike are drawn to these coins for their connection to a pivotal moment in world history, where even something as small as a penny could carry the weight of national significance. Market value for the 1942 no-mint mark penny has grown steadily over the years. Coins that were once worth mere cents to everyday people have appreciated into the thousands for collectors and investors. Factors influencing this value include rarity, condition, historical context, and market demand. Coins in exceptional condition or those featuring minor mint errors can command significantly higher prices than standard circulated pennies. Today, the most sought-after examples are those with pristine details, original surfaces, and any unique minting variations that make them stand out from the millions of ordinary pennies produced that year. Collectors often describe the thrill of discovering a rare penny in a pocket change, a desk drawer, or an old coin collection. You never know when you might stumble upon a coin that has quietly appreciated in value over decades. The 1942 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny represents the perfect example of this phenomenon. A coin that most people would overlook in a jar of pennies could, in fact, be a hidden gem worth thousands. For collectors, this makes hunting for Lincoln wheat pennies both a hobby and an adventure, a way to connect with history and potentially uncover incredible financial value along the way. Numismatics, the study and collection of coins, has grown into a thriving community, with enthusiasts exchanging knowledge, tips, and discoveries about coins like the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny. Online forums, coin shows, and specialized auctions have created a marketplace where rare coins can be evaluated, authenticated, and sold for impressive sums. For those entering the hobby today, the 1942 no-mint mark penny offers an accessible yet fascinating entry point. It's a coin that represents history, artistry, and the potential for substantial value growth. As we reflect on the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny, it's important to remember that each coin is more than just its metal content. It's a piece of American heritage, a snapshot of a bygone era, and a testament to the enduring appeal of small, everyday objects that carry extraordinary stories. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who simply appreciates history, holding a 1942 penny in your hand is like holding a fragment of the past, a small, copper window into the lives, struggles, and resilience of people who lived more than 80 years ago. For those who might be wondering about the ultimate value of this remarkable coin, let's bring it all together. After decades of collecting, studying, and trading Lincoln wheat pennies, the 1942 no-mint mark penny has reached an astonishing price that reflects its rarity, historical significance, and demand among collectors. A coin that once passed quietly from hand to hand in stores, buses, and pockets across America has now been recognized for its true worth. That value, after careful consideration and appraisal by experts in the field, stands at $54,388. If you ever come across a 1942 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark in your collection, in a jar of old coins, or inherited from a relative, it's worth taking a closer look. You could be holding a coin that not only tells a story of American history, but also carries remarkable financial potential. And while not every coin will fetch a fortune, understanding the significance of the 1942 no-mint mark penny reminds us that even the smallest pieces of metal can have incredible stories, value, and power. When it comes to collecting coins, few pieces capture the imagination of collectors like the Lincoln wheat penny. First introduced in 1909, the Lincoln cent quickly became one of the most iconic coins in American history. Over a century later, collectors still hunt for rare variations, and among these, the 1948 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny stands out as a true gem. Today, we'll explore everything you need to know about this fascinating coin, its history, rarity, key features, and its staggering value. If you are a coin collector or just someone intrigued by the allure of rare money, this video is perfect for you. The 1948 Lincoln wheat penny was struck in Philadelphia, which is why it carries no mint mark. Philadelphia has a long tradition of producing U.S. coins, and during this period, the mint was responsible for striking millions of pennies each year. However, not all coins produced are created equal. Over time, certain pennies developed features or conditions that made them particularly rare or highly sought after by collectors. The 1948 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny is one such example, and understanding why it is so valuable requires diving into its history and the context of the era. The post-war years in America were a time of transition. World War II had ended just a few years earlier, and the nation was entering a period of economic growth and prosperity. Coin production during this period was robust, but there were subtle differences in the minting process compared to other years. Coins from the 1940s often exhibit characteristics like strong relief, well-defined wheat ears on the reverse, and a sharp appearance overall. For collectors, these features are crucial because they affect the coin's grade, which directly influences its value. What makes the 1948 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny truly captivating is its relative scarcity in top grades. While millions were produced, very few have survived in mint state condition, meaning they have not been circulated and retain their original luster and detail. Coins that have been carefully preserved over the decades show off the intricate design of Victor David Brenner, the artist who created the Lincoln cent. Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse of the penny is one of the most recognizable images in numismatics. The reverse features 2 ears of wheat, symbolizing prosperity and abundance. This classic design remained in use until 1958, making it one of the most enduring symbols of American coinage. Collectors pay particular attention to the condition, or grade, of the coin. Grading is a meticulous process that considers wear, scratches, toning, and strike quality. The Sheldon coin grading scale is commonly used, ranging from poor P1 to perfect mint state MS70. For the 1948 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny, coins in MS65 or higher are considered extremely valuable. Coins that exhibit full, sharp details, no signs of wear, and appealing color and luster are highly sought after and can command prices far above their face value. One fascinating aspect of the 1948 no-mint mark penny is how minor variations can dramatically affect its value. Some coins may have doubling on the date or on the letters, while others may have small die cracks or other minting anomalies. These variations are known as mint errors, and they can make an already valuable coin even more desirable. Collectors often scour coin rolls and auctions to find these rare errors because they represent unique moments in minting history that cannot be reproduced. Another factor that makes this penny special is its historical significance. By 1948, the Lincoln cent had been in circulation for nearly 4 decades, surviving economic fluctuations, changes in minting technology, and the wear and tear of everyday transactions. Each surviving coin is a tangible connection to American history, from the post-war era to the rise of the modern economy. Owning a 1948 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny is like holding a small piece of the past, a coin that has traveled through time and remained preserved against the odds. For those interested in investing in rare coins, the 1948 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny offers more than historical value. It is also a sound financial asset. Over the years, the market for rare Lincoln wheat pennies has remained strong, with collectors and investors competing for the best examples. Prices have steadily increased, reflecting both scarcity and demand. Coins that might have been worth a few dollars in the 1980s now fetch thousands of dollars at auction, especially in top grades. This growth makes the 1948 penny a valuable addition to any collection or investment portfolio. When looking to acquire one of these coins, it is essential to purchase from reputable sources. Coins should ideally come with a certified grading from professional organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. Certification provides confidence in the coin's authenticity and grade, which is crucial for both collectors and investors. Additionally, careful handling and storage are vital. Coins should be kept in protective holders, away from moisture and harsh environmental conditions, to maintain their condition and value over time. The thrill of owning a rare Lincoln wheat penny also comes from the hunt. Collectors often search through rolls of pennies, estate sales, and auctions, hoping to uncover that one coin that stands out. Imagine the excitement of finding a 1948 no-mint mark penny with impeccable details and original luster, knowing that it is highly coveted by numismatists around the world. Each coin carries a story, not just of its production, but of the hands it has passed through and the history it has witnessed. It's also worth noting the broader appeal of Lincoln wheat pennies. They are among the most collected coins in the United States, appealing to both beginner and seasoned collectors. Their low face value makes them accessible, while their historical significance and potential for high value provide long-term investment potential. For many, collecting these pennies is a blend of passion, education, and financial strategy, making each acquisition a rewarding experience. Today, the 1948 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny continues to capture the imagination of collectors worldwide. Its combination of historical significance, rarity in high grades, and timeless design ensures that it remains a highly desirable coin. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or a newcomer to the hobby, understanding the allure of this coin opens a window into American history and the fascinating world of coin collecting. The journey of collecting coins like this one is as much about preserving history as it is about building a collection or investment. After decades of fascination, research, and careful collection, the 1948 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny has become a symbol of both history and wealth. It represents the enduring popularity of the Lincoln cent series and the excitement that comes with finding a truly rare and valuable coin. For collectors who have devoted years to building their numismatic knowledge and collections, acquiring this penny is not just a purchase, it's an achievement, a testament to patience, skill, and dedication. And for those wondering about its current market value, the 1948 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny in excellent condition can command a truly remarkable sum. With careful research, proper grading, and a bit of luck, this historical coin can be yours, offering both the joy of ownership and the potential for a substantial return on investment. In today's market, collectors and investors alike recognize the exceptional value of this coin, making it one of the most sought-after Lincoln wheat pennies in existence. And for anyone curious about its worth, the price is $49,577. Welcome back to World Information HD, the channel where hidden treasures, forgotten coins, and surprising bits of American history come to life in ways you never imagined. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a wheat penny that millions of people have handled, spent, tossed aside, and ignored, yet a rare version of it has shocked collectors with its unexpected value. This is the story of the 1951 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny, a coin that seems ordinary at first glance but holds secrets that could turn an old jar of change into a pocket-sized fortune. Let's take you back to the early 1950s, an era right after the turbulence of World War II. America was rebuilding, families were moving to the suburbs, cars were getting bigger, televisions were becoming the centerpiece of living rooms, and children still bought candy for a penny. And in the middle of that world, quietly circulating through thousands of hands, was the small copper coin we're discussing today. The 1951 penny seems simple, a reddish-brown, well-worn wheat cent with the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right on the front. No mint mark beneath the date means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. To most people, this looks like a coin worth exactly 1 cent. Just a penny. Just something jingling at the bottom of a pocket or forgotten behind a couch cushion. But if you're watching this video, you already know that coin collecting is never as simple as it looks. Sometimes, ordinary coins hide extraordinary surprises, and this particular wheat cent is no exception. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of pennies in 1951. That massive production number leads many collectors to assume these coins are common, uninteresting, and not worth taking seriously. But that's where the story gets interesting. While most 1951 pennies are circulated, damaged, or worn beyond recognition, only a tiny fraction survived in unusually sharp condition. And among those survivors, an even smaller handful contain errors, defects, or minting irregularities that catapult their value far beyond what anyone would expect. Imagine holding a coin minted more than 70 years ago, a coin that survived pocket change circulation, banking rolls, drawers, jars, and decades of handling, and it still shows crisp lettering, full steps on Lincoln's shoulder, sharp rims, and a gleaming copper surface. These are not just coins, they're time capsules, artifacts that defied the odds, pieces of American history preserved by accident or luck, Collectors love the 1951 wheat penny for several reasons. First, it represents the classic era of copper pennies, coins made before the shift toward cheaper metals. Second, the wheat reverse, depicting two elegant wheat ears flanking the words 1 cent, is one of the most iconic coin designs in U.S. history. Third, the coin belongs to a decade filled with interesting mint varieties, die breaks, and striking issues that make searching through pennies incredibly rewarding. One of the reasons the 1951 no-mint mark penny has gained attention in the collecting world is because of unexpected high-grade examples emerging from old estates and coin hoards. Before people realized certain coins could be valuable, many families stored wheat pennies in jars or old coffee cans. For decades they sat untouched, shielded from wear, waiting silently for the modern collector market to rediscover them. And that rediscovery has been surprising. When professional graders examine a wheat cent, they judge the coin using a strict scale of condition, everything from worn and damaged examples at the bottom, to mint state, lustrous, sharply struck coins at the top. Reaching the highest grades is extremely difficult, especially for a coin minted in such massive numbers. For example, most 1951 pennies found today are circulated. They have scratches, discoloration, dents, rim nicks, or dull surfaces that limit their value. But every once in a while, someone finds a pristine example, a coin that somehow escaped circulation entirely. Maybe it was pulled straight from a mint roll, maybe from a bank bag, maybe it was tucked into a coin album by a collector way back in the 1950s. However it happened, these gems stand out instantly. High-grade wheat pennies from Philadelphia are known for their brilliant red or red-brown colors. That shiny copper glow, untouched by decades of oxidation, is incredibly eye-catching. And when such a coin goes to auction, collectors battle for it. Why? Because even with millions produced, survival in perfect condition is extremely rare. Now, let's talk about errors, because errors elevate ordinary coins into extraordinary collectibles. On 1951 pennies, several types of minting mistakes can dramatically increase value. Some examples include off-center strikes, where part of the coin design is missing because the blank was misaligned when struck. Others involve die cracks that create raised, vein-like lines of metal on the surface of the coin. These cracks form when mint dies begin to fail, and each error pattern is unique. There are also clipped planchets, which occur when the circular metal blank is improperly cut, leaving a crescent-shaped mistake at the rim. Even more exciting are double die varieties, where the letters or numbers appear doubled because the die shifted slightly during manufacturing. While doubled dies are not as common in 1951 as in some other years, rare examples do exist, and collectors pay serious money for them. But condition and rarity alone don't tell the full story. What really gives the 1951 penny its charm is its place in American life. Imagine the hands that touch these coins: factory workers, teachers, soldiers returning from Korea, mothers buying groceries, children saving pennies in tin piggy banks. These coins pass through moments of history, moments big and small, until finally landing in the hands of collectors who recognize their hidden value. Think of how many of these pennies vanished into the economy, melted down in later decades, or got lost forever. The few that remain untouched are the ones collectors hunt for like treasure. They represent the survivors, the lucky ones, the rare gems that still shine decades later. And here's the best part: one of these coins, in extraordinary condition, shocked collectors when it sold for an impressive price at auction. The demand for wheat pennies has increased, especially among new collectors who appreciate the charm and nostalgia of old American coinage. This surge in interest has caused certain dates, especially high-grade pieces, to jump in value. That's why it's so important for people to check their coins carefully. Don't assume a penny is worthless because it looks old or dirty. Clean it? Never. Scrubbing or polishing a coin destroys the natural surface, wipes away its originality, and can cause it to lose most of its value. Collectors prefer coins just as they were found, no matter how dusty, crusty, or tarnished. So, if you ever stumble across a 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny in change, or if you find one hidden in a drawer or tucked away in a family collection, take a closer look. Examine the color. Is it red, red-brown, or brown? Look for sharp details, especially around Lincoln's cheekbone, jawline, the lettering, and the wheat stalks. Check for unusual markings that might indicate an error. Because you never know what you're holding until you look closely. Even a simple wheat penny from 1951 can tell a story. It tells the story of a nation rebuilding, a time when every penny mattered, and craftsmanship was placed into every coin struck at the US Mint. And for collectors, that story makes these coins more than metal. It makes them meaningful. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. A record quality, high-grade, beautifully preserved 1951 no-mint Mark Lincoln wheat cent once sold for an astonishing $36,454. The story of rare American coins is full of surprises, hidden treasures, and incredible discoveries made by ordinary people. Today's video takes you deep into the world of one of the most fascinating wheat pennies ever created during the mid-20th century. We are talking about the 1955 mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny, a coin that millions of people pass by every day without ever realizing that some of them could be worth serious money. This is not just a discussion about an old copper coin. This is a journey back to 1955, when the United States Mint was in full production, America was entering a booming era, and pennies were not yet just loose change in pockets. They were little works of history. Imagine a time when a penny bought more than you can today. Kids used to trade 2 or 3 pennies for a piece of candy. Adults carried them in leather wallets. Every time a cashier rang up a purchase, that familiar copper tone appeared between their fingers. And in the middle of this era, the Denver Mint struck millions upon millions of wheat pennies, including the now famous 1955 penny. While most of these coins lived normal lives, spending years in circulation, collecting dirt, scratches, and damage, the rarest survivors have become incredibly valuable. The 1955 penny might look simple at first glance. It might even appear worn, dirty, or heavily circulated. But what makes this date so special has everything to do with how a few unique coins survived. The Denver Mint was known for its precision and efficiency, but despite the production of over 1 billion pennies that year, a small percentage came out with characteristics that collectors are desperately searching for today. That is where your luck comes in, because any ordinary person holding a 1955 penny might unknowingly be holding a tiny piece of American numismatic history. Collectors love the 1955 penny for several reasons. First, it was struck during a major transition period in U.S. coinage. The wheat reverse design was still in place, and the United States Mint was preparing for major changes that would come by 1959. That means each wheat penny minted during the mid-1950s is part of the final chapter of the classic wheat era. Second, the Denver Mint was the busiest of all mint branches during that time. They struck coins for everyday transactions across several western states. As a result, most of the 1955 pennies suffered heavy circulation, making well-preserved examples extremely difficult to find today. What makes this story even more exciting is that the value of a wheat penny doesn't depend solely on its year and mint mark. It depends on how well the coin has survived. Some coins may be bent, corroded, or heavily scratched. Others may still show sharp details, even after decades in circulation. In rare cases, a penny may appear surprisingly crisp, as if it barely traveled from hand to hand. These high-grade survivors are the ones that collectors fight for at auctions. But here's what most people don't realize: even a dirty or worn 1955 penny can still be worth money. Yes, even a penny that looks like it spent years buried in the dirt, stuck under a couch, or rattling around in an old jar can have value. Why? Because collectors care about rarity and surviving population, and the number of attractive, high-quality 1955 pennies is dropping every year. Coins get damaged, lost, or melt away over time. So if you have a 1955 penny in your possession, you may already be holding something collectible. Let's talk about the design. On the front of the coin, you see Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. His portrait was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of his birth, and the design remained untouched for generations. Above his head, the words "In God We Trust" are clearly visible, though often worn. To the left, the word Liberty sits close to Lincoln's shoulder. On the right, The year 1955 appears with the small yet important D Mint mark just below it. That little D represents the Denver Mint, an important detail for collectors. Turn the coin over and you'll see the iconic wheat reverse. This classic design features two wheat stalks curving upward along the sides, symbolizing America's agricultural strength and prosperity. Between them, the words 1 cent appear boldly, along with United States of America. Above everything, the phrase E pluribus unum completes the look that has made these coins beloved by collectors for over a century. But how does a simple copper penny become valuable? It begins with grading. A coin's condition can dramatically change its worth. For instance, if your 1955 D penny is heavily worn, its value might be low. But if it still has strong luster, crisp details, and minimal marks, its value can climb rapidly. Some collectors and coin experts spend years searching for the best preserved pennies from this era, and the search becomes even more intense with coins like the 1955 D because so few high-quality examples remain. Not all rare coins are flawless. Some are valuable because of special minting characteristics. For example, a 1955 D penny can sometimes show die cracks, off-center strikes, or other unusual features caused during production. These minting anomalies, often called errors, can dramatically boost the value of a coin. A penny that looks irregular to the untrained eye might actually be a rare, valuable mint mistake. Another reason collectors want this coin is the nostalgia associated with the wheat penny series. Holding one feels like holding a piece of early American life. It reminds people of old grocery stores, wooden school desks, small-town diners, and everyday life during the 1950s. Many families kept jars of wheat pennies as a tradition, passing them down through generations. Among these jars, hidden treasures sometimes appear. People often discover rare dates while sorting through old collections, and the 1955 D has become a standout date that can surprise anyone who takes the time to look carefully. Today, coin collectors, both beginners and experts, continue to hunt for remarkable examples of this coin. Auction houses have seen impressive results for well-preserved pieces. Stories circulate of lucky individuals who found one in a forgotten drawer or inside a dusty coin album. Every time someone checks an old coin roll or searches a penny jar, the possibility exists that a valuable 1955 D penny might be hiding among the ordinary ones. If you ever come across one, hold on to it. Study its details. Look at the mint mark, the condition, the sharpness of Lincoln's outline, and the wheat ears on the back. A cheap-looking, dirty penny could still be a rare survivor. And if you find one in spectacular condition, then you may have something truly special, something that collectors would pay significantly for. The magic of coin collecting is that treasures often appear in the most unexpected places. You don't need expensive tools or advanced knowledge to begin. All you need is curiosity, patience, and attention to small details. That is how most rare coins are found, not by experts, but by ordinary people who simply take a moment to look carefully. And now, we arrive at the most exciting part of today's topic. Among the finest known examples of the 1955 D Lincoln wheat penny, the highest quality pieces have achieved an incredible value at auction, with one extraordinary specimen selling for an amazing total of $34,000. In the world of American coin collecting, there are some coins that seem ordinary at first glance, the type of coins you might find lying at the bottom of an old jar, hidden in a drawer, or mixed among decades-old change. Yet behind their worn copper surfaces are stories of history, rarity, rare varieties, and unexpected value. And one coin that fits this mysterious mold perfectly is the United States of America 1957 no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny. For many people, it looks like nothing special. After all, millions of these coins were produced in the final years of the wheat penny era. But as collectors know, not every 1957 penny is created equal, and some examples have shocked the coin market by selling for unbelievable amounts of money. Today, we are diving deep into the world of this humble yet fascinating coin to explore its history, features, varieties, and the surprising value hidden in certain rare editions. The story of the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny begins in the years following World War II, during a time when the United States was experiencing rapid growth and change. By 1957, the country had entered an era of booming industry, expanding highways, and a growing middle class. Pennies were used everywhere, and the mint was producing them by the hundreds of millions. The 1957 wheat penny was among the final few years of the iconic wheat reverse design, which had been in circulation since 1909. Designed by Victor David Brenner to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the wheat penny featured Lincoln's portrait on the front, facing right, and 2 wheat stalks on the back symbolizing prosperity and hard work. Because the 1957 penny was minted mostly for everyday commerce, people spent them freely, tossed them in pockets, and often ignored them. Many were scratched, dented, worn down, or corroded from decades of use. That's why finding a clean, well-preserved example today is more uncommon than most people realize. The no-mint mark version of the 1957 penny was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not place a mint mark on its coins during that time. While Philadelphia minted a massive quantity of them, only a small percentage have survived in high grades, and even fewer possess the rare errors that collectors crave. One of the most appealing aspects of the 1957 wheat penny is its connection to the end of an era. The wheat reverse would be discontinued just 2 years later in 1959, replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. This shift marked a major change in the appearance of American pennies, making the late 1950s wheat cents sentimental favorites for collectors. Many see them as the last breath of classic American coinage, a reminder of a time before modern designs took over. And because so many of these coins were used heavily, the ones that remain in sharp, pristine condition are now dramatically more valuable than the average circulation-worn penny. But what truly sets certain 1957 pennies apart is the presence of error varieties and striking abnormalities. Some pennies were produced with doubled letters, misaligned dies, off-center strikes, and other minting mistakes that occurred during high-volume production. These errors transformed simple pennies into highly desirable collectible pieces. Coin collectors are always searching for unusual features: strong doubling on the date, doubling on the words "In God We Trust," weak strikes, partial collars, or off-center impressions. Any of these unusual traits can dramatically increase the value of the coin. A penny that may have looked like a common piece in someone's old wallet could, under careful examination, turn out to be a rare mint error worth far more than its face value. The issue of condition plays a huge role in the value of this penny. Collectors use the Sheldon grading scale, which ranges from 1 to 70, to evaluate a coin's quality. A 1957 penny that grades a 60 or higher is considered mint state, meaning it has little to no wear and still retains its original luster. These high-grade coins are the ones that tend to sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. In contrast, a worn-out example may be worth only a few cents. But the true surprises come from coins that combine both high-grade and rare errors. These are the ones that push prices into the thousands at auctions. Another fascinating part of the 1957 penny story is how it is still often found today in unexpected places. Many people have stumbled upon them in change drawers, estate sales, old family collections, and even buried in forgotten boxes in the garage. The idea that a seemingly worthless penny could hold hidden value sparks curiosity and excitement among collectors, new and experienced alike. The thrill of discovery keeps thousands of people searching through change jars every single day, looking for coins like the elusive high-grade 1957 wheat cent. Every time someone finds one in excellent condition, it feels like unearthing a tiny treasure from America's past. Collectors also appreciate this coin for its historical charm. At over 6 decades old, it has survived through generational changes, political shifts, economic transformations, and cultural evolution. Yet it remains a small but enduring piece of American heritage. This gives the penny sentimental value beyond its monetary worth. Holding a 1957 wheat penny can feel like touching a small fragment of mid-century America, when copper coins jingled in the pockets of soldiers returning home from war, families visiting diners, kids buying candy for a penny each, and workers collecting their pay in cash. The simplicity of its design also adds to its timeless appeal. Lincoln's portrait stands noble and calm, a reminder of leadership, strength, and unity. The wheat stalks on the back speak to the values of growth, abundance, and the American spirit. For many collectors, the design of the wheat penny remains one of the most visually pleasing coin designs ever produced by the United States Mint. This emotional connection continues to make the 1957 penny a favorite among hobbyists. But what makes the no-mint mark version especially interesting to collectors is the subtle difference between Philadelphia minted coins and those created in Denver. The Denver Mint placed a small D on its coins, while the Philadelphia Mint left its coins without any mint mark. This absence of a mint mark has always intrigued collectors, encouraging debates about the quality, rarity, and distribution of the coins produced in Philadelphia. For the year 1957, some of the finest surviving examples without a mint mark have earned impressive auction results. Stories of unexpected finds often circulate within the coin community. One collector recalled purchasing an old jar of random pennies at a garage sale, only to discover a sharply struck 1957 wheat penny in near-mint condition hiding among them. The coin later graded extremely high and sold for far more than he had ever imagined. Another story involves a coin inherited from a grandfather, untouched for generations, which turned out to be a rare era variety. These stories fueled the ongoing excitement surrounding coins from this era. Even beginners in coin collecting often start with pennies like the 1957 wheat cent because they are accessible yet filled with history and potential. Searching for these coins teaches collectors how to recognize important details such as luster, strike sharpness, rim condition, and error patterns. It is a coin that helps people learn patience, attention to detail, and the value of preserving small pieces of history. As we explored deeper, we discover that the world of wheat pennies is far more complex than most people realize. Subtle differences in die quality, metal composition, planchet preparation, and striking pressure all contribute to the uniqueness of each coin. A coin minted early in the production cycle may show sharper details than one struck later. A die that begins to crack may create fascinating patterns on the coin's surface. A misfeed or misalignment may lead to dramatic shifts in the design. These variations are what make each 1957 penny worth inspecting closely. Collectors recommend using proper lighting and magnification when examining coins. By looking carefully at the date, lettering, wheat lines, and Lincoln's coat details, one can often spot features the average person would never notice. Some of the most valuable coins in history were once overlooked because someone assumed they were just ordinary pennies. Patience and careful observation are the keys to identifying rare pieces. Throughout the years, the 1957 no-mint mark wheat penny has steadily increased in popularity among collectors, not only because of its potential value but also because of its place in American history. The demand for high-grade examples continues to grow, especially as more people learn about coin errors and auction records. Every year, new collectors enter the hobby, fueling competition and driving up interest in coins like this.